Morning. I'm Leigh. We're going to do a 60-minute Vinyasa class. An opportunity for you to sort of be a warming flow, like some twists and things. You'll feel the heat in different parts of your body as well, hopefully. So if you can remember as you start to feel those sensations, that the idea is to warm those parts of your body and to build strength in those parts of your body, then it can make them a little easier to stick with, that there's a purpose. So let's begin in Supta Baddha Konasana. So you can lie down onto your back, have the soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, you can do the opposite and have your knees together and your feet out wide as you lie onto your back, or take any other position that feels good for you. And we'll begin just with some slow breaths. So always nice just to feel each part of your body that rests onto the floor, and really let the floor have you. So practicing that experiential or that real felt body sense of trust. That the floor has you, there's nowhere else you need to be. You can stay, let your knees just gently fall away from each other or fall into each other as you take about 3 more slow rounds of breath. And then bring your knees in towards each other to give them a squeeze in towards your chest. A little rock from side to side across the back of your hips and your shoulders. And then extend your left leg out long. Curl your left toes back towards your shin as you press your left heel down into the floor to start with. And then bring your knee in a little closer towards your chest, maybe even out towards your armpit. Finding that space through the inner edges of your thighs there, from your inner groin up through that inner seam of your thigh towards your knee. Feet stay active so that you're supporting your joints as you let your knee move closer towards your chest or the floor for another breath or two. And then just soften the grip on your knee a little so that you can take your right knee across your body and scoop your left hip under your body. Right arm can reach out real wide beside you. Your left hand rests onto the outside of your right knee as a way to just give a little more gravity to your right knee. You soften through your low back with that gentle squeeze in of your belly button that supports this gentle twist. Shoulders are the base for the twist. Your knee doesn't necessarily need to touch the ground, but you're letting gravity and the weight of your hand perhaps move it towards the ground. Lengthening through the crown of your head as you breathe in. You let your shoulders get a little heavier to the floor as you breathe out. Take one more round on your inhale. And then just soften as you exhale. And come back through the middle to take both knees in towards your chest for that squeeze before you extend your right leg long and hold on to your left knee. Right heel on the floor. Curl your right toes back towards your shin, active through your right leg. And then you can either just draw your knee in a little closer towards your chest, or move your knee out towards the side of your chest and draw your knee more towards your armpit. Whatever gives you sensation through the inside seam of your left thigh there. And drawing your left outer hip down away from your left armpit, so you've got more length through the sides of your waist. You just pause and get a little heavier. And then soften the grip on your left knee so you can move it across your body as you scoop your right hip under your body. Extending your left arm out to the left. Options with your gaze, look up towards the ceiling, over to the left if you'd like, or just find a position for your head that feels okay for your neck. Left outer hip draws away from you as you hug in through your belly. Find space across your low back, across the side of your left hip. Letting your left shoulder rest down, letting your face get a little softer. And then come back to the middle again. Give both your knees a squeeze towards you. A gentle rock from side to side. And then hug your knees in, start to rock up and down to make your way onto all fours. So spread your fingers, knees are beneath your hips, wrists are beneath your shoulders. Take a couple of cat-cows, lifting your chest as you breathe in, and then round through your back as you breathe out. Add on side-to-side actions as well, just to warm up the sides of your body, the sides of your spine, exploring this range that you have at this early hour on a Sunday morning or whenever it is that you're doing your practice. And then as you come back to neutral, there's that gentle lift of your belly button, a lift of the front of your hips up towards the base of your ribs. Keep that action in your torso as you curl your toes under and lift to your downward facing dog. So keeping your front ribs knitting in might mean bending your knees a lot. A gentle wrap of your outer arms down towards the floor. Like you want to roll your biceps forward, can give you some more space for your neck. Feel free to move your hands and your feet to find a steady base for yourself with length from your fingertips to your hips. And then from your hips down through your heels. Stay for a long breath in. Grip into the floor as you breathe out. And then walk up to the front of your mat. Take as much time as you need. A halfway lift as you arrive there. Fold forward with your breath out. Take another halfway lift. Take your feet out to hips width. And then step your left foot back to low lunge. Drop your back knee to the floor. And reach your arms to the sky for Anjaneyasana. So you can uncurl your back toes. There's this draw back of your right hip, your right knee, your right heel, everything drawing back and in towards the midline of your body. And the opposite action with your back leg, back knee draws forward and in. So you've got this scissor action of your legs that helps you to lift up out of your waist. And space for your neck by broadening across your shoulders, wrapping your outer arms towards the front of your mat. Stay for one more big breath in. Bring your hands to the mat, step back to downward facing dog as you breathe out. Ooh, come forward to a high plank on your inhale. Knees to the floor as you exhale. And roll your heart forward, shoulder heads away from your ears. And as you wrap into your waist, see if you can just lower to low plank where shoulders are no lower than your elbows. Hugging your elbows in, but broadening your collarbones. Stay for a breath in. All the way to the floor as you breathe out. Press the tops of your feet for cobra. Hug in through your shoulder blades as you lift your heart. Downward facing dog. Hips up and back as you empty. One big inhale breath. And a long emptying exhale. And take your right leg to the sky as you breathe in. Bring your knee to your chest. Step through for low lunge as you breathe out. So runner's lunge this time. You can keep your back knee lifted. As you find that same sort of scissor action with your legs, can you squeeze in through your inner thighs, turn on the base of your torso, your pelvic floor, and then draw your heart forward as you inhale. Move hips up and back to a pyramid variation, with whatever variation suits you. So it might be a little bend or a big bend into your front knee, blocks or books or something underneath your hands can be useful to give you this ability to really peel your right hip back and get that length through the back of your right leg. Wherever you are, can you let your head melt towards your right toes as you stay for another breath in and your whole breath out. And then bend into your front knee. Take your right arm to the sky for a twist. Left shoulder head away from the front of your mat as you reach your right arm up towards the sky. Center of your heart reaches forward. Plug in your belly button towards your spine. Stay for one more breath in. Look forward, step forward, and fold forward as you breathe out. Lift halfway, inhale. Fold in half as you exhale. Reach all the way to the sky with your breath in. Bring your hands to your heart as you breathe out. And reach back up to the sky on your inhale breath. Dive to the earth as you exhale. Halfway, collarbones broad. Step your right foot back to low lunge. Drop your back knee for Anjaneyasana. So take your time and feel free to pad your back knee if you're on a hard surface. Draw your left thigh bone back. Plug your right thigh bone forward or draw your right knee forward. Giving you this connection in through the center of your torso, base of your torso to lift you up out of your waist. Shoulders soft. Stay for one more big breath in. And then hands to the floor, downward facing dog as you breathe out. Forward to your high plank as you inhale. Knees to the floor as you exhale. And roll the center of your chest forward, wrap in through your waist. Go to low plank with shoulders hover above your elbows. You could even be up quite high here if you'd like. And then all the way down to the floor. Press the tops of your feet to extend your heart forward for your cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Empty the breath away. Stay for big inhale breath. Steady grip into the floor as you exhale. And step or walk up to the front of your mat. Oh, actually, just pause there. Take your left leg up towards the sky as you breathe in. Step it through for low lunge as you breathe out. Great. Back knee can stay lifted, hugging through your inner thighs, squeezing in through your outer hips. So you can find the strength in your base to lift your heart, lengthening forward as you breathe in. And then move your hips up and back to a pyramid variation as you breathe out. Something underneath your hands, anything underneath your hands that allows you to get a little lift through your chest. Can give you a little more support for the muscles that we're working into here. The stretch of the back of your left leg, your hamstrings there. The strengthening of the front of your left leg. Quadriceps get a little engaged to help support the lengthening of the back of your leg. Stay for another breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. And then as you bend into your front knee, left arm reaches up towards the sky. You've got that hug in through your inner legs. So extend out through the center of your heart. As you roll your chest towards the ceiling and gaze to wherever feels nice on your neck. Long through the back of your neck. Like you want to touch the crown of your head Whatever's over in front of your mat. Steady for another breath in, and your whole breath out. One more inhale fills you up. Look forward, step forward, fold forward as you exhale. Take your halfway lift. Fold yourself in half. Reach all the way to the sky in your inhale breath. Hands back to your heart as you exhale. Take one round of breath. Empty. Reach to the sky. And dive to the earth. Lift halfway. Step back to high plank. Pause here to press the floor away, turning your heart forward. Option to have your knees on the floor as you breathe out. Take one more lengthening inhale in your high plank. Lower the low plank or the floor as you exhale. Take cobra or up dog, press the tops of your feet, float your chest. And downward facing dog as you empty. One long inhale breath. A slow, steady exhale. Step, walk or float to the front of your mat for your halfway lift. Fold in half. Reach up to the sky, breathe in. Dive all the way to the earth as you breathe out. Halfway. Step back high to low plank, so please use your knees to support your shoulders. Cobra or up dog, you choose. Downward facing dog as you empty. One breath in. A slow breath out. Just make your way to the top of your mat for your halfway lift on your inhale. Fold in half as you exhale. Back up to the sky by pushing down into your feet. Back to the earth by softening to your knees. Take your halfway lift to make your spine long. Chaturanga is that low plank shape where you can go all the way to the floor. Cobra or up dog on your breath in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take one long inhale breath. Grip into the floor as you exhale. Step, walk or float to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold in half. Reach all the way up to the sky as you breathe in. Bring your hands to your heart as you breathe out. Take one breath to fill up. Stay to empty. Feel the warmth building up. Reach your arms back up to the sky on your inhale. Dive all the way to the earth as you exhale. Broaden your collarbones as you lift your chest. Move to down dog through your vinyasa or not, you choose. Pause for a breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. Take your knees to the floor, come onto all fours. Take a cat-cow or two, move your hands around. Give your wrists a little bit of warm up. Cool. Great. And then extend your right leg towards the whatever's behind you. Right leg out behind you, hugging through your inner thigh. So right inner thigh hugs in and rolls up towards the ceiling. And as you lift through the front of your belly, reach your left arm forward, finding length from your right heel to your left fingertips. Keep drawing into your center as you take one more breath in. Bring your elbow to your knee underneath your body as you breathe out. Pause there, round through the back of your body. Grip into your right hand. Find that hugging through your waist as you stay for a breath in and your whole breath out. And then take your right knee to the right and your left elbow out to the left. So you're like in this half squash frog sort of shape. And you lift your right knee so that it's in line with your right hip. Keep lifting up through your right inner knee, lifting up through your left elbow. Stay for another breath in as you wrap in through your waist. Bring your elbow back to your knee as you breathe out. Reach out long on your inhale, forward and back. Back to the center as you exhale. Out to the sides on your inhale breath. Back to the center as you exhale. Forward and back, breath in. Center as you breathe out. Out to the sides, inhale breath. Back to the middle as you exhale.
Reach forward and back, breath in. Bring everything back to the mat as you breathe out. Take a little rock around. And then extend your left leg towards whatever's behind you. Lift your belly button, lift the front of your hips, and then extend your right arm towards the wall that's in front of you. Long from your heel to your fingertips, stay for a big breath in. Bring your elbow to your knee underneath your body as you breathe out. And you've got that rounding through your back that comes from lifting up through the front of your ribs as you grip into your left hand. Take your left knee out to the left, your right elbow out to the right. Cool. And then see if you can line up your right elbow with your right shoulder, your left knee with your left hip. Keep wrapping in through your waist for another breath in. Bring your elbow to your knee underneath your body as you breathe out. Forward and back, inhale. Center as you exhale. Out to the side, breath in. Back to the middle as you breathe out. Forward and back. Center. Side. Center. Forward and back to pause. And everything back down onto the floor. Cool, give it a little rock out. If you want to do a couple more, you're welcome to. Otherwise, sit back under your heels, give your wrists a little roll around, give your hands a little shake out. Pause to maybe notice the heat that might be developing. Your ujjayi breath, if you would like to be creating more heat, comes from breathing in and out through your nose. And this slight constriction at the base of your throat. So that you're actually warming the breath as it moves into your lungs. As you're slowing it down at the base of your throat where there's lots of blood vessels and the warmth of your breath warms, or the warmth of the blood warms your breath as it moves into your lungs. And then, of course, if you get too hot, then opening your mouth and letting out a big exhale, and maybe even a sigh can help. We'll take one more breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. And bring your hands to the front of your mat. Downward facing dog. Slowly walk up to the front of your mat. Lift halfway as you get there. And then fold. Reach all the way up to the sky as you breathe in. Bring your hands to your heart as you breathe out. Just take one round of breath, move your feet around if that feels nice. And then bring your left knee to your chest, reach your arms to the sky, stork pose. So push down firmly into your right foot so that your right thigh bone plugs into your hip socket. That warming effect, we're going to create that warmth through your right hip here. So as you reach up out of your fingertips, can you press down more through your right heel, stay for a big breath in. And then twist right hand forward, left hand back as you breathe out. Cool, so you're twisting to your left hand's out behind you, right arm over to the right. Stay for a breath in. Keep hugging in through your inner thighs as you breathe out. Reach back up to the sky and your inhale, turn towards the front. Step it back to arrowhead. So bend into your right knee, plant your left foot softly at the back of your mat. Feel free to move your feet around to create a more steady base for yourself. So that from your back heel, lift it up away from the floor as you push down into your left toes. Left heel all the way up and out through the crown of your head. You're just one long line. As you draw in front ribs and hug in through your waist, put that strength through your center. You're going to keep this one long line you've created as you just twist to the right. So left hand can reach towards the floor, but it doesn't need to touch the floor. Right hand reaches towards the ceiling. It probably won't touch the ceiling. Cool. Keep hugging in through your inner thighs. Keep drawing length out through the crown of your head. Right outer hip pulls back as you stay for one more breath in. Then left hand, left knee to the floor. Take your left foot out to the left a little for a steady base. Then extend your right leg either towards the wall that's behind you, or you can place your right foot down at the back of your mat. Find yourself a steady base, so left wrist is directly below your left shoulder.
Left knee in line with your left hand. Right foot at the back of your mat or float it up away from the floor. If you're lifting your right foot, can you lift from your outer right heel rather than your toes? So you're working into your right outer hip still for a breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. Bring your knee towards your chest. Step it back up to that twisted arrowhead where you lift your left hand, lift your left knee, and then turn to arrowhead as you breathe out. Bring your left knee to your chest, reach your arms to the sky, stork pose. Twist right hand forward, left hand back. Great, reach back up to the sky, breathe in. Step it back to arrowhead as you breathe out. Twisted arrowhead, keep the line from your left heel to the crown of your head. Left hand, left knee to the floor, extend your right leg back. Knee to your chest, step back up for revolved arrowhead, push into your right heel. Turn to arrowhead as you breathe out. Stork pose, pushing your right foot again, reach your arms to the sky. Twist right hand forward, left hand back. Reach back up to the sky, inhale. Step it back to arrowhead as you exhale. Twist left hand down, right hand up. Left hand to the floor, extend your right leg towards the back wall. Right knee to your chest, step back up for twisted arrowhead. I know right hip is warm. Arrowhead as you breathe out. Stork pose, push into your right heel, bring your knee to your chest. Twist right hand forward, left hand back. Reach back up to the sky, big breath in. Both feet to the floor, hands to your heart as you breathe out. Give it a little shake out. So hopefully you feel that warmth in your right hip. You can just see if you can find some movement into your knees. Good. Soften into your right hip perhaps. Take a breath or two. Notice the difference one side to the other. And then bring your place your left foot down onto the floor, bring your right knee towards your chest. Reach your arms up towards the sky and you're in your stork pose. And push down into your left foot so that your left thigh bone plugs into your hip socket. Reach up a little longer from your heel to the crown of your head and your fingertips. And then twist left hand forward, right hand back. Cool. So you can keep your head above your hips above your heel as you draw in through your waist to support a gentle twist like you're moving your rib cage around your spine. Stay for a breath in, stay for your breath out, and reach back up to the sky, inhale. And then slowly, slowly to arrowhead. Take your time on this first time, figure out where your feet need to be, even move them around as you need. Right outer hip wraps down. There's that hugging of your inner thighs. Everything squeezing in towards your middle, so that from your back heel, lifted away from the floor, you've got length all the way out through the crown of your head. And as you twist, right hand moves towards the floor, left arm reaches up towards the sky. So you don't necessarily need to be down towards the floor. It's just one long line from your back heel to the crown of your head. And then right hand to the floor, right knee to the floor. Right foot out behind you a little will give you a more steady base. Extend your left leg either towards whatever's behind you or place it at the back of your mat. See if you can find this wrap back of your right shoulder. So you've got a really steady base, right shoulder, solid, gripping into your right hand. And then if you're floating your left foot away from the floor, imagine you want to turn your toes a little towards the floor and lift from the outside edge of your left heel. So you're using your left outer hip for one more breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. Bring your knee towards your chest. Step back up to revolved arrowhead. Turn to arrowhead as you breathe out. Stork pose, knee to your chest, reach your arms to the sky. Twist left hand forward, right hand back. Reach back up, inhale. Step it back to arrowhead as you exhale. Twist on your inhale breath. Right hand down, modified side plank. Extend your left leg back. Step back up to revolved arrowhead. Inhale. Twist to arrowhead as you breathe out. Lift back up to stalk, right knee to your chest. Twist left hand forward, right hand back. Back to the sky, inhale. Arrowhead. Twist. Modified side plank. Step back up. Twist back to arrowhead, untwist rather. Bring your knee to your chest, reach your arms to the sky, inhale. Twist left hand forward, right hand back as you exhale. Reach back up to the sky, big breath in. Both feet to the floor, hands to your heart. Move your feet around. Or just find some stillness there. Noticing the heat, the warmth that gets created in your joints. Maybe in your lungs, you can feel the warmth of your breath. Creating that internal heat. What the yogis call tapas. Heat, this idea that we need heat or a fire underneath us to allow us to achieve what it is that we set out to do. So this fire, this tapas, is a discipline that this practice teaches us. Even with all the distractions, the sensations in our body, can we stay focused, determined? There's a reason we're here, and there's something here for us. Just stay for another breath. And bring your left knee back up to your chest. Stalk pose. Push down into your right foot. Twist right hand forward, left hand back. Reach back up to the sky, inhale. Step it back to arrowhead as you exhale. Twisted arrowhead on your breath in. Take your left hand down to the floor, your left knee to the floor, modified side plank. Pause. So with your left hand, wrist underneath your left shoulder, your left knee underneath your left hip, extend out through your right heel. See if you can lift from the outside of your right heel and keep wrapping into your waist. You've got the option to stay here if you'd like to, or bend up your right knee, reach back and grab a hold of your ankle or your toes, top of your foot perhaps for a baby Kapinjalasana. Couple of options with this one. You can hug your right heel in towards your butt cheek and get a big stretch across the front of your right thigh there. See if you can keep that stretch across the front of your thigh as you take your right foot back away from your hip and open up through your chest, roll open, kicking out through your right foot as you stay for one more breath in and your whole breath out. Slowly, slowly release back to that version of side plank where your right foot's floating. Bring your knee to your chest, step back up to revolved arrowhead. Turn to arrowhead as you exhale. Crescent lunge, push into your right heel, reach your arms towards the sky. And that hug in through your inner thighs as you lift up out of your waist. And then twist from here, left hand forward, right hand back. Can you push down into your back toes to engage your left glute? Left glute protecting the front of your left hip as you stack the crown of your head above your hips. Stay for a breath in. Option to stay exactly as you are, or you can take your back hand to your back thigh, reach your left arm up towards the sky. Maybe even look back towards your back heel, lifting through both sides of your waist as you take a breath in. And stay for your whole breath out. And reach back up to crescent lunge on your inhale breath. Open out to warrior two as you breathe out. Great. And then flying warrior. Reach your arms to the sky, straighten your front leg. Back to warrior two as you breathe out. Cool. Flying warrior for Monique. Back to warrior two as you exhale. One more, reach back up. Flossing out through your right hip. Pause in your warrior two. So can you stack your head above your hips? Find that drawing of your front belly button, your only belly button. Stay for a breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. Reverse your warrior. Flip your right palm, reach your right arm up to the sky. Take side angle pose, right elbow, right thigh. Left hand can be on your hip. You can reach your left arm up towards the ceiling, or with your palm facing down, reach your left arm over your head so that that angle becomes that line from the outside edge of your left foot pushing down to your left fingertips extending towards the front wall. Can you wrap your outer arm to, like you want to take your outer arm, your tricep towards your nose to get some space for your neck, and then look to wherever suits you. Stay here, bind, move through variations as you like. Can you bend a little more into your front knee? Staying for a long breath in, and your whole breath out. Reverse your warrior, take your time. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Bring your hands to the floor, step back. Chaturanga, or go straight to downward facing dog. Cobra, rough dog if you're in your flow. Downward facing dog is a little neat. Stay for one big breath in. Stay for a long breath out. Take your right leg to the sky on your inhale breath. Knee to your chest, shoulders over your wrists as you exhale. Reach back up to the sky on your inhale breath. Right knee to your right elbow as you exhale. Reach back up to the sky, breath in. Right knee, right elbow, pause. Keep your hands on the floor. Extend your right foot over to the right. See if you can pull your right hip back away from the front of your mat. And then extend your heart forward towards the front of the room. Shoulders onto the back of your ribs. You're still on your tippy toes of your back foot. Your right toes curl back towards your right shin. Stay to peel your right hip back for one more breath in. And then plant your back heel down, reach your left arm towards the sky. So you can keep your right hip plugged in underneath you to float your right foot away from the floor. Even grab a hold of the outside of your right foot. Maybe extend it towards the front wall as you stay for one more big breath in. And then hands to the mat, go through your flow, or go straight to downward facing dog. Take one big breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. Step, walk, or float lightly to the front of your mat. Lift halfway. Fold in half. Reach all the way up to the sky. Bring your hands to your heart as you breathe out. Go pause for a couple of breaths. Enjoy the heat. Notice if there's any sweat, which is your body's natural way of cooling you down. So it's not something that you need to shy away from. Let your body do what it needs to do. Noticing as you just pause for a breath or two, you can keep that heat in your body by coming back to your Ujjayi breath. Keep that fire gently burning. Stay for one more round, determined, steady. Then bring your right knee to your chest, reach your arms to the sky. Twist left hand forward, right hand back. Reach back up to the ceiling, inhale. Step it back to arrowhead as you exhale. Twisted arrowhead on your breath in. Right hand down, right knee down. Extend your left leg back. Cool. And you can have your foot on the floor if you'd like to. If you're lifting the left foot, see if you can lift from the outside edge of your left heel so you get more action in your left outer hip. Stay here or reach back, grab a hold of your ankle or your toes. Bring your heel in towards your butt to start with. See if you can lift the front of your hip up towards your rib cage to get you that stretch through the front of your left thigh. Stay with that, or keep the lift of the front of your left hip as you kick your foot back behind you and peel your heart open. Cool. And then slowly release your left foot, reach your left arm back up. Bring your knee to your chest, step it back up to revolved arrowhead. Turn to arrowhead as you breathe out. Crescent lunge is where we're heading to. So bend into your back knee, reach your arms towards the sky. And then once you find a steady base for yourself, lift up crown of your head, lift up rib cage away from your hips. Take a twist with your right hand forward and your left hand back. Great. Fingertip to fingertip long. There's that gentle squeeze of your shoulder blades. It gives you some more space across your chest. Stay with this. Or left hand to your back thigh. Right arm up towards the sky. Lift up out of your waist. Perhaps look towards your back heel. Wherever feels good on your neck. One more breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. Reach back up to the sky. Inhale, crescent. Warrior two. Cool, and then 3 of those. Whoa. Flying warriors. Back to your warrior two. Straighten your front leg, arms to the sky. Warrior two again as you breathe out. One more time, floss out your left hip. Find your way back to your warrior two to pause, move your feet around, find this steady base. Cool. Pause to kind of find your breath again. Flip your palm, reverse left arm. And then side angle Pajda Konasana. Left elbow to your left thigh. Variations with your arms. Welcome right hand hip. Ceiling. Palm facing down. If you want to wrap your tricep towards your nose, your outer arm towards your nose. You've got some space for your neck there. Cool. If there's other variations that you'd like to move to, feel free. For about 3 more breaths. You allow the breath to warm your body, to allow you to be more malleable, more susceptible to change, to opening up whatever's happening. So 1 more breath in. Stay for your whole breath out. Reverse your warrior, left arm to the sky. Hands to the floor, your flow could be straight to down dog. Otherwise, cobra or up dog, pressing the tops of your feet. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take your left leg to the sky, breathe in. Step it, knee to your chest as you breathe out. Back to the sky, inhale. Left knee, left elbow, right elbow even, reach back up to the sky. Left knee to your right elbow, pause. Just take your right foot over to the side of your mat. Keep your heel lifted, keep your hands on the floor. So the idea of this one is that you can keep a big bend into your left knee, so that you can peel your left hip back, like you want to roll your right outer hip down and squeeze your thighs together. So you're in a bit of a twist, heart searching forward, shoulders onto the back of your ribs, drawing through your waist. So your left hip peeling back, it should give you a little stretch to your left outer thigh there. Cool, and then back heel down, reach your right arm to the sky. Keep your left hip pulling back underneath you so you can float your left leg easily away from the floor with that option to grab a hold of your left foot and reach your left leg forward. 1 more breath. Slowly go through your flow, go straight to downward facing dog. And then from either take your knees, child's pose, or sit back onto your heels. Give your wrists a little roll around and hands a shake out. Close your eyes or gaze to one spot out in front. Oh, it's nice to sweat. It's been a while. Cool. Yeah, and breathing out your mouth is going to cool you down if you need that. Or breathing in and out through your nose and keep that fire alive. You can always re-stoke the fire if you need to. You're closing your mouth, focusing on your Ujjayi breath. And you listen to the sound of your breath. It might sound a little like the ocean, a little like the waves moving up the sand, and then retreating back from where they came. A cooling action of water might look like a bit of a softening of your shoulders, your face, your neck. Just to find that balance. The idea of the tapas, the discipline, the fire that we build in this practice is to burn away anything we don't need. Start to notice reactions and our thoughts drifting off to other things. And our attention on breath, on that sound of the ujjayi, brings your attention back to your breath, bring your attention back to you. The fire that we're burning is designed to bring up those reactions so that you can notice them. In that fire, they get burnt away. In discipline, you're just here, you're doing everything you need to do. Stay focused, stay calm. Just take 2 more slow rounds. And then come forward onto all fours and take a couple of cat-cows. And then walk your feet back and lie down onto your belly. You can place your arms down beside you, or you can use your hands as a pillow underneath your forehead or the side of your face. A little rock through your hips feels good, go for that. And then with your forehead to the floor, reach your arms down beside you if they're not there already, with your palms facing down towards the mat. Press down into the tops of your feet, all of your 10 toenails press down into the floor. And you've got that gentle hugging of that bone at your inner ankles, heels and toes in one line, strong legs to help you lift gently your head, your shoulders, let your shoulder blades hug together. You've got that drawing through your waist that's supporting the strength and length through your lower back. Stay hands on the floor or float your hands, even interlace your hands behind the back of your body. And then if you'd like to float your feet, you lift from the inside seam of your legs, extending out through your toes as you reach out through your heart. Just for 3, for 2. Take 1 more breath in your Shalabhasana. And then gently bring it back down, head to the other side. Find stillness or a gentle rock. And hands beside your ribs. Move back to downward facing dog. Long breath in. And a slow, steady breath out. And take your right leg to the sky. Step it through for low lunge. Hands to the inside of your front foot. You can move your right foot over to the right and then just move your left foot back a lot and let your left knee rest down onto the floor. So stretch for the front of your left hip. There's a gentle engagement through your left glute here. You can stay with your hands on the floor or something underneath your hands to help you out. Cool. Options from here. Your right heel becomes a pivot point as you lift the front of your right foot and take your toes out to the right about 45 degrees. And as you come onto the outside edge of your right foot, you can take your right hand to the inside of your right thigh, give yourself a stretch through your inner thigh there. Stay with that. Or reach back towards the back wall. Keep your left shoulder hugging back away from the front wall. And then you've got the option to pick up your back foot. You can take your left elbow down onto the floor if you've got some more space. Left shoulder stays plugged back. As you roll open through your chest. Stay for another breath or two. And then release your back foot, place your hands back down onto the floor. And bring your right knee back in, right foot back into a low lunge. And lift your back knee away from the floor. Roll the center of your chest forward, take a big inhale breath. And then move your hands around to the left, turning your toes around to the left as you straighten both your legs so that you're in a straddle. Take a lift of your chest, breathe in, lengthening your spine. And then fold forward as you breathe out. Do that again, just walking your hands forward, lift and lengthen on your inhale breath. As you fold forward, you might have to bend your knees a little or a lot. Take one more of those, lifting, lengthening on your inhale. And then fold yourself forward as you exhale. Any variations that you'd like to take with your hands, they can be resting onto blocks. They can be on the floor. You can grab a hold of your toes, your ankles. Let the crown of your head melt towards the floor. If you've got inversions, tripod headstand, Shisasana B, any of those variations that you'd like to take here and you feel safe and secure, please feel free. Otherwise, just stay in your forward fold. Coming out of any of your variations, please take as much time as you need to. Take a halfway lift to lengthen your spine. And then walk your hands back to low lunge, that runner's lunge at the front of your mat. Lift your chest on your inhale breath. Move your hips up and back to pyramid as you exhale. Do that 2 more times, lifting your chest as you breathe in. Melting over your front leg as you breathe out. One more of those. And then as you bend into your front knee again, this time pause. Move your back foot forward about a foot. So you shorten your lunge. Walk your hands around to the right. Turning your toes around to the right. And the crown of your head reaching long out of your waist. Got that squeeze in of your inner thighs, and then bend your knees to sit down onto the floor into Gomukhasana. I'll turn around so you can see what's happening. Knees to sit down onto the floor into Gomukhasana. I'll turn around so you can see what's happening. Cool. Your right knee is on top of your left knee. Please feel free to extend your left leg out long if you feel crowded in this shape. Extend your left leg long, even sit onto a block. That'll give you some more space for your hamstrings and your low back. Cool. And then fingertips beside you wherever you are. So you can keep your hips grounded as you start to lean forward. Fingertips can be on the floor out in front of you. Palms can be on the floor. Move with awareness of your breath. Anything that needs to be burnt away. Anything that's in the way of you finding peace in these shapes. A natural state is peace and calm. So if you're not feeling that right now, what is it? And we've got an idea of what this shape's meant to look like. I've been practicing for about 12 years. I've got very open hips, so this shape for me is going to look a lot different to what it looks like for you. Just thinking about whatever your history is or the past that's brought you to this point. If you can let go of anything you don't need, letting it burn away in the fire of your determination to even just be here. And you slowly bring yourself back up. Take downward facing dog, unravel your legs, pedal out your feet. Left leg to the sky as you breathe in. Step it through for low lunge as you breathe up. Roll your heart forward on your inhale. Then move your hands around to the right for Prasarita Padottanasana. Halfway lift as you breathe in. And then just fold forward as you breathe out. If you want to take a couple more rounds like that, if again you want to take your variations, Shishasanas, headstands, feel free. Nice bend into your knees. Allow you to really pull your torso out of your waist, so don't feel like you need to be really stagnant and stuck here. You can be up quite high, just slowly letting your torso melt. Stay a little longer if you'd like to. All coming out of variations, take your time to find your halfway lift and then walk your hands back up to the front of your mat for low lunge. We'll go through 3 of those low lunge shape on your inhale, pyramid variations you exhale. Next time you come to low lunge, pause. Bring your back foot up about a foot. And then walk your hands around to the left, taking your toes around to the left. See if you can bring your feet a little closer if you need to, so you can bend your knees and sit down onto the floor. Straighten out your bottom leg is a nice option to give you some space. Block book, something underneath your hips. Can feel good too. Fingertips beside you. You can stay where you are. Or start to lean forward. Whatever shape you're in, can you allow it to feel good for you? Feel like the fire that you've created has created even just a little malleability in your muscles. You're honoring those gentle little progressions. They're just as important, if not more important, than any final destination that you might want to get to. Take another breath. And gently lift yourself back up. Hands at the front of your mat for your downward facing dog. Take one big inhale breath. Let it all go. Walk, step, or float through your hands. Land onto your seat. And then lie down onto your back. Feet on the floor, knees towards the sky. Give your knees a little rock from side to side to massage the back of your hips. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Keep that rocking action going if that feels nice. As you extend your left leg along the floor, take your right knee across your body, scoop your left hip under your body. So like we did at the beginning, Let both your shoulders settle into the mat. Pause to breathe. Come back through the middle when you're ready. So know that we're towards the end. You can do whatever you need at this stage. Left knee hugs in towards your chest and moves across your body as you scoop your right hip under your body for your twist. Your shoulders relax, your face relax. And this idea of tapas, discipline, fire, is one of the foundations of the Hatha Yoga practice. So Hatha Yoga being this physical practice that we do, is designed with this heat and the fire and even the pressure, the challenge that we put on ourselves, the stress we put ourselves under to create what the yogis call a diamond body. The diamond body is creating clarity. The clarity of the diamond has less to do with the diamond itself and more to do with the light that shines through the diamond. So that you're creating a vessel through which the light of a greater power can shine. And back to the center, you could take a happy baby, a gentle rock from side to side. You can extend your legs long whenever you're ready. Move into your Shavasana. So as you lie down into your Shavasana, feel again the weight of your body on the floor, that trust that the earth has you. And please stay for at least 10 really slow, steady rounds of breath. Letting go of that Ujjayi breath and just allowing the breath to move softly in through your nostrils. Softly back out through your nose or your nostrils. So at least 5 now rounds of slow breath in your Shavasana. Finishing up as you're ready. Namaste.